everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lordee, and today we're going to try and install the 9-inch flat screen Android system. To the limit. Right, okay guys, so what we're going to do is we are going to start, basically, I've got the fascia. I sprayed this. I was originally going to wrap it in a carbon effect to obviously match the interior of the ST3. Now, I've basically sprayed it. Now, I've sprayed it in a gunmetal, which I actually think looks better. I'm hoping this is going to work quite well. So we've sprayed that, we're ready for that. We've got to put the unit into that now. We're going to do that. And I've got a couple of tools with me. We've got some of these plastic tools to remove bits and pieces with. So we're going to use those to pry out the fascia, get that out, and then take the old radio out. So I can't do this while you're facing me. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in stages. I'm going to get the new unit into the fascia. We're going to take the old one out, and then I'll show you the next bit. Right, so starting process is we're going to put the screws into, so the fascia, I've put the unit into the fascia. We're going to screw to put that together. Right, okay, so we have that prepped and ready to go. That's now in the fascia and the unit's in there. As I say, it was just 5 screws to hold that in. So that was fairly simple. I just went around the edges with the tool, prised it up, and then the fascia will essentially pop out. There we go. Obviously being careful as you can not to ruin this, just in case you ever want to replace it back. Okay, so we've done the screws and now we're ready to remove this. So I'm not going to do that with one hand. It was that simple, 4 screws, and this will just pop out, and then we'll move to the next stage. So this is interesting. So the loom was easy to come out. There was just a small clip, and you just lift up essentially this bit, which just obviously releases it, nice and easy. Now on the aerial, you've got 2. Now I didn't think this was going to be the case. So you've got the FM, and potentially this one will be the DAB. I actually thought it all ran through the one wire. As far as I read up online, Ford split it onto the aerial. Now it looks like, because they're coming out the same, that this one could be the DAB option or aerial part of it, and that's the FM and AM option. So I'm going to take a look at that in a moment. We'll get it wired up and see how we get on, and we can always come back to that bit. So this unit also comes with a reversing camera. I'm not going to wire this up at the moment. I'd have to run that around the car, and that's not something I'm going to do today. So we will basically essentially plug this into the back and leave that dangling for the moment, and we will work out the best solution to get that up and running. And from my understanding is when you put it in reverse, you would have to wire it up so when you put it in reverse, it obviously clicks up on the screen. So that's something to think about in the near future when we've got more time to get that done. So we're going to leave that for the moment. We're just going to get this fascia up and running on here, and so we can see what that looks like when we turn it on. Also, the next thing to think about is where to put the GPS module. That's going to be really useful. A lot of people mount it towards the corner of the car, or even inside the boost gauge, and just sits in there. I think we're going to find a sensible place for this as well. So let's have a think about that. We're going to get that wired up into the system. Hi, so welcome back. It's the next day. We didn't get completed on the lunch break what I hoped to do, which essentially I only had 40 minutes, so I was never going to complete the task, which was a little bit wishful thinking. So first of all, what I want to say is obviously a massive thank you to all you guys that have just recently subscribed to the channel. That's wicked. I really appreciate it. So thank you a lot. So what we're going to do today is we're going to move on. We're basically going to try and complete this now, the installation of this Android system. Now, believe it or not, yesterday, last shot really, which you've just seen, was talking about the FM and DAB aerials that split off from the original radio. Now, it turns out it is split, so therefore you have got your FM and you've got your DAB. And now the Android system does not have a DAB input, which, to be honest, is a bit stupid. I don't know why you wouldn't, in this day and age, have a DAB input straight onto the device. So the situation is we either buy a USB module, which you plug into one of the USBs, plug in the DAB and run it that way. Or I'm looking at the other option is you can buy splitters, which essentially potentially could hook up both, but I don't know enough about signals to have both running through the same on an FM. I don't know whether that would work. So if you know, comment below, give me some information. But we're going to leave the DAB for the moment. I mean, we can come back to that. We can, you know, I'm not going to get it up and running today. One, I haven't got any splitter, and I haven't got a USB, so that's something to purchase. We'll have to come back to. We'll have to take the fascia back off, start it back out, which is a pain, but it is what it is. So if you do have DAB already, you will be in a similar predicament. So obviously think about that prior to either buying the unit, whereas obviously some other units on the market will be able to already give you an input for DAB straight on the back of the unit, or purchase something beforehand. Hopefully I can solve that, and well, as I say, you guys might have already solved that, and you can give me a comment below and let me know what to do next. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go show you the next stage, so where we are. So let's go. Right, so this is where we ended up last night, or yesterday. We've got the wiring loom done. That's plug and play straight into the original wiring loom, and we just fit the new one in there. Done. Sweet. Got the two USBs, 1, 2, wherever that is, and then we've obviously got the FM and the DAB and the GPS module. Now, what I have just done, which I will show you because I need to take the glove box out again, I've decided to run the USBs through the whole of the glove box into the glove box itself, allowing easy access to the USBs. So I'm going to show you that now. Basically, I've undone the screws here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you've never done this before, there's a little clip here. You just pull down a little clip that exposes it. So we're going to take that back out now. But what I've actually done is I've taken already the whole box out. I've run the GPS module all the way behind here, around this side and up, all the way up. I've just taken back the rubber seal and then run it up the arm or the pillar, and then it just pokes itself out up here. So I'm really happy with that. Originally I was going to have it on the down here, but I didn't like that. The wire wasn't really, it was still hanging there, it didn't look good. So we've run it all the way clean up there. Can't really see it at all. So no problems with hanging wires. It's all hidden, and there's just a little module there. So I'm happy with that. So I think that looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this box, get that out, and then put the USBs in. I'll show you that next. Right, okay, so screws out, that's done, and then now this will just, let's have a pull, just pull out. There you go. This will just pull out. I'm going to show you this inside. I don't know if you guys actually know, just in there where this actually sits. Let's see if I can do this. I know this is awful, sorry, camera. That sits in there like that. You do have to pull that out, and it's just on a little clip. How I'm going to get it back in, I've got no idea. But we're going to run the USBs in there. If you didn't know, this you can turn it, open it, and close it. This is actually for, you can use that during the summer. If it's hot in the car and you've got sandwiches, for instance, or a drink, you can put that into the glove box, have your aircon running, open this, and the cool air from the aircon will run into here, keeping everything cold, if you didn't know that. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get this back on, because that looks like a real pain. But I'm going to run the USBs into that hole, into the glove box. So we're going to do that now, get this put back on, and we might just leave this off for the minute, which I hate leaving bits off, but let's crack on with that bit anyway. Let's get the USBs in there. Right, so while the box is out, I'll just show you. I'm just about to put it back in. So I've just run the GPS wire around here, then use my tool just to prise this open slightly, which brings it around behind here. You can probably just see it, just underneath there. So it's pretty well hidden. Then comes up here and then goes up the pillar. And you can just peel this back and use your plastic tool just to feed it up and up into the pillar. So I think that's a better way of doing it. It's all hidden then. I might just tidy that little bit up just there. But so essentially we're going to put this box back in now. Got the two, if you can see there, got the two USBs sitting in there where that hole is. And as I say, you will have this piece in here where the aircon comes in, but that clip's never going to go back in with the USBs in. So we'll make a decision on that in a bit. Right, sweet. That's back in. Test it. Fine, working fine. USBs in place. Okay, so now all we've got to do now essentially is get this plugged in, I think. Yeah, there's not much left to do. Obviously, I'm disappointed about the DAB situation. So I'm going to have to think about that. But yeah, let's just get the unit now. Let's get it plugged in and fire this bad boy up. And before I do that, just to let you know what I've actually put the original screws back in. You see that where the original head unit was. The reason for that is they have a slight vibration on it, and also I don't want to lose the screws just in case I ever want to put them back. So that's what I've done, just in case you want to do the same. Right, there you have it. It's finally clipped in. God, that took me about 20 minutes just to clip the bloody thing in. What a pain in the ass. But to be fair, yeah, I mean it's not out at all. Actually, it's very good. I dread the fact of trying to get it back out and putting it back in again, but yeah, I'm fairly pleased with that, and I think it looks okay. So we're going to peel this off. Don't need that anymore. Perfect. And there you have it. So what we're going to do is we are going to turn this on for the first time. I'm going to power on the car and see what happens. So you're seeing this live with me. Ooh, that looks good. Wow, there you go. how quick the startup that I was. It's going to search for GPS, I think, when it starts up. And then we have it. The Android. This is the Junsun option. I don't know if to touch it or not, but yeah, here we go. And then we've got home. I mean, it is doing stuff, but probably in the background it's probably searching for, I think it needs to search for GPS, but there we go. So you've got YouTube, you've got maps already preloaded, Play Store, Google, Gallery, GPS test. We'll try some of this out in a moment. Chrome, DPS, so it's got all the functionalities for smart bass, balance, delay, filter, loudness, equalizer. So you've got all of that. We've got the radio. So let's try, see if it finds anything. Possibly not. We'll work that out in a minute. We'll turn that off for now, if I can get it off. We'll go through all the functions. I mean, obviously I've just literally turned it on, so I just need to do the setup. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Right, cool, we got there. So we got it up and running anyway. We've got it clipped in, and to be fair, it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna have to leave it there. I've got to get back to work. We're running late already. So I'm gonna play around with this and show you all the bits and pieces once I finish work. So be back in a moment.